Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Fanatic, and today we're taking a look at a trio of games that generate levels based on your music, but they're not rhythm games in the traditional sense. We'll be taking a look at AudioSurf, Beat Hazard, and Symphony. In order to get a proper baseline comparison, I'll be using a control group of 5 songs. Baba Yet 2 from Civilization 4, Davy Jones' theme from Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Duel of the Fates from Star Wars Episode 1, Gigalomania from the Live Alive remake, and The Plagues from Prince of Egypt. Due to the nature of copyright, I'll not be using any of the actual in-game audio from these titles. And one last thing before we get started, I would like to issue an epilepsy warning. All these games involve lights that flash in tune with the music used. If you have epilepsy, you may want to skip this one, or at the very least, watch in a well-lit room. Without any further ado, let's dive in. Released in 2008, AudioSurf is the oldest title on this list and very likely the founder of this subgenre. In AudioSurf, you'll be writing audio waves in one of 2 modes. In mono mode, you'll simply be avoiding gray blocks while trying to collect colored blocks. The faster the song is going at the time, the more points colored blocks will be worth when they make sets of 3 or more. It's a very simple mode, and definitely the closest that any of these get to being a true rhythm game. But out of the 14 different modes the game offers, only 3 of those are mono. The rest are different variations of the game's color mode. In these modes, there are no gray blocks, but each block is a separate color. Cooler colors like blue and purple are more common, but worth less points, while warmer colors like yellow and red are rarer, but worth more. In addition to your standard bricks, you'll also have white bricks. These don't match anything, but they'll automatically clear and give you a hefty bonus if they hit the bottom of your queue. You'll also have flashing multicolor bricks, which count as wilds and will match with anything. You might also come across power-ups. A lightning bolt creates 6 bricks of the same color, 2 in each column, while a paint splat turns all the bricks you currently have into the same color. Each ship plays a little differently here. For example, Pointman allows you to catch and drop a single brick, whereas Pusher does, as its name implies, allows you to shove blocks 1 column left or right as you pick them up. Next up, we have Beat Hazard. Released in 2010, this title takes the route of a twin-stick shooter, although you can also use the mouse and keyboard if you prefer. As you'd expect, you move with the left stick and shoot with the right. In addition to the various enemy types, you also have power-ups that occasionally appear when you defeat enemies. Score multipliers are pretty self-explanatory, but you also have volume, which increases the number of shots you fire, and power, which increases the damage of each of your individual shots. Additionally, you always have access to super bombs, which destroy nearby enemies and give you a short period of invincibility. You'll also be able to collect money pickups that can be spent on upgrades. Things like increased score multipliers, extra lives, etc. I also have the Ultra DLC, which adds additional enemy types and 3 new weapons that aren't as powerful as your bombs, but give you more options. A powerful focused laser, a reflective shield, and my personal choice, the micro missiles which rapidly swarm enemies. There's also a more recent DLC released for the 10th anniversary which adds different ships to play as, but I don't currently have this one. And finally, we have Symphony. Released in 2012, this one plays as a vertical shmup. Destroying an entire group of enemies creates a large music note. If you time these to pick them up, you can form chains for bonus points. Every once in a while, you'll have a boss fight where you have to free a classical composer from an extra-dimensional demon. Yes, that's actually how it's presented in-game, and each of these is a unique, scripted boss fight that is not affected by the song you're currently playing. There's a much stronger sense of progression here. There's a heavy focus on collecting and upgrading new weapons, and even playing on higher difficulties is something that's unlocked over the course of the game's story mode. So how well do they compare to one another? Going off of memory, I really expected Symphony to be my top pick, but in fact, it actually makes the bottom of my list. This owes almost entirely to the menu and user interface. It is a complete mess and makes finding a specific song to play with an absolute chore. In AudioSurf and Beat Hazard, you can simply browse your file tree as it's stored upon your computer. But in Symphony, you have no such option. Good luck finding anything if you don't have albums saved to the metadata. Graphically, I think AudioSurf wins out. It makes much better use of colors in general, whereas Symphony tends to have very monotonous graphics. Beat Hazard has a fair bit of visual variety, but it just has so much going on screen that you can barely tell what's going on at times. With the Ultra DLC, you can change the setting on the light effects, but this is with that turned all the way down to 50%, which is the lowest that it goes. Oh, and by the way, you can turn the slider up to 200%, in case you wanted the screen flooded with 4 times as many flashing lights as you see here. If you're looking for something progression-based, AudioSurf is going to be out for you immediately. Symphony is the strongest in this regard, but all of them are fairly arcade-like overall. All in all, if you only go with one, I'd suggest AudioSurf. I do really like the concepts of Beat Hazard and Symphony, but the visual overload of Beat Hazard knocks it down to my second pick, and the clunky menu has completely killed Symphony for me. If you're looking for a new way to play your music, these titles still have their appeal over a decade later, and you really can't go wrong with AudioSurf or Beat Hazard.
AudioSurf, Beat Hazard, and Symphony are available for PC via Steam, and Beat Hazard is also available on Good Old Games. If you're interested in purchasing or learning more, links are included in the description. What about you? Which of these titles is your favorite? What sort of songs do you like to play along to? If you have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view, leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. And if you really enjoy my work, please consider funding my channel on Patreon. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.